Uh, okay, we are live.
Woohoo! So
I
how's
actually
Cyprus?
saw that there's a new feature that just got added to StreamYard where you can actually send this live stream to your own set of destinations. So if you wanted to do a different set than YouTube and Twitch, you could send them to whatever specific
Okay,
things
so
that you
if
like.
you have your own endpoint, you can just do it that way. That's nice.
Yeah. Anyways, how is everything? It's been a few weeks now.
It has,
I was out. I was out for a while.
you're often fun. Um, oh, looks like you had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I had never been to Cyprus before, but that was a whole.
which part of
That was
Cyprus are you in? Because it's like split in two, isn't it? With the whole
It
Turkish
is split in
northwest.
two. I did a lot of digging into the history of Cyprus while I was there as well because I was just curious how that whole situation happened. Um, and it led me on this journey over the past 1,000 years of Byzantine Empire history
Mm-hmm.
into the Ottomans for 400 years, occupying, basically having ownership of Cyprus or control of Cyprus for a long time, even though it was a large, maybe a majority of of ethnically Greek people there as well. But its entire history, it just seems like there are different groups that will go and settle there as far back as 12,000 years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
then an empire like the Assyrians or the Egyptians or the Romans will come in and just take over control.
Yeah, it's one of these
It's
classic
passed around a
things
lot.
where someone says, "Oh, we must be in charge here," and we'll claim it. And so Turkey is currently the one claiming they get to be in charge. So the Cypriots don't seem to get much choice in the matter.
Yeah. Well, it's yeah, they have the independent Turkish Republic of Cyprus, Kyprus, whatever. Um, it's only recognized by them internationally. The rest of the world
Yeah, and the word independent
considers the whole place
is not so much
Cyprus.
true.
But it's interesting because the constitution that was set up in the early 70s when they became an independent country,
Uh huh.
including the two halves, the northern Turkish half and the southern, uh, Republic of Cyprus. That constitution actually defines that if you are a citizen there, you are either Greek or you are Turkish.
Hmm.
Like you have to identify with one or the other. It's really weird.
It is. It is very strange. I mean, the thing with these things is really there's never any one side who's like our answer is the correct answer. Everyone should follow our answer, and everyone can externally agree.
Yeah.
It tends to be a lot of, shall we say, bad choices all around.
Yeah. Well, it seems like the major push from Turkey came around the time. I mean, after many years, like decades of sort of political upheaval between the major populations of Greek and Turkish sympathetic peoples there.
Hmm.
There was a group locally that was basically trying to annex Cyprus to Greece, from a sort of legal
Right.
perspective, and that triggered Turkey to send a force of like 1,000 troops to Cyprus and basically occupy occupy
Yeah.
the northern half.
There's a good 30 years of insanity. It looks like sort of from the
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, the Greek
yeah, and then it basically
population was saying, "Let's join Greece," and then the others were saying,
yeah.
"No, no, let's not." Uh, and then
Let's not do
the
that.
Turkey said, "Oh, let's
We're
make
not
this piece
ready.
Turkish." Uh, I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean
I
that made it caused a huge amount of population displacement from the north and south. Like Turks in the south had to move to the north, and Greeks in the north had to move to the south. But now it's effectively all a single country, but
mhm.
legally, the north half is and in practice is technically politically influenced by Turkey. And I don't know. It's a weird situation, but
Yeah,
from all functional purposes, you can basically go anywhere on the island, and it doesn't really
it's
matter
a it's
too
as I
much.
understand it, a so-called frozen conflict in the sense that there are a set of
Yeah,
institutions that let people live their lives, but the conflict is still sort of built into the legal framework of the place, and will at some point
yeah,
explode in people's faces, and hopefully not anytime soon. And possibly a generation or three will pass, and then people will let go of it, and then they can move on. Who
right.
knows?
At some point, most of the people that actually directly remember the conflict and those issues will have moved on.
Yeah.
But It's interesting because right now there is a ton of investment from just international. I wouldn't call them immigrants so much as parties interested in having land, or I mean, there are a good amount of Russians and people in states sort of surrounding and in the areas of the old Soviet Union that are looking there to kind of get away from Russia. So it's an interesting place right now from that perspective, because there's a lot of different peoples that are flocking there.
Yeah, I'd love to visit it in general. I mean, I'm obviously interested in all things classical in general, and that's very much part of the classical world.
Definitely. They have some of the most elaborate mosaics that are, and extremely well preserved mosaics in the world. They, there was like an entire Roman. I wouldn't call it a palace, but it's definitely in the scale of extremely luxurious homes.
Excessive villa, a villa of some kind.
An extremely excessively large villa is like the size of a small school.
I mean, that's like the villas in the UK are all massive complexes.
Yeah,
but not all. Many of them are massive complexes. I think it's just a very classic Roman sort of country estate type thing, and they often, if they get rich, end up being quite elaborate with mosaics and things.
But they had like 50% of it. The floors are just covered with extremely detailed mosaics that are they're not pigmented. They are actual colored stones and different minerals. So they're extremely well preserved for being 1,000, 1,500 years old.
I'm looking at this map of Cyprus right now, and it's interesting. It's got the sort of demarcated zone across the middle of the country, right? But then there are also these dotted lines.
You should pull the map up real quick, because this is kind of a
let's do it.
We should look at that.
Let's do it. See a screen here. Silly map. Here we go. Big old map of Cyprus.
I mean, I found this really interesting just because Turkey is such a... Like, Turkey emerged out of this 400-year history of the Ottoman Empire, and a lot of decisions, many of which are very questionable in their execution, that were made by the Europeans after World War I and the Paris Accord.
Yes, the whole way that the Allies conducted themselves after World War I was stupid.
It's basically set into motion all of the modern conflicts.
Yeah, I mean, there's a classic. Find it off screen while we talk. There's a classic cartoon of like an editorial cartoon or political cartoon of the Versailles treatment of Versailles.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it. It should be pretty quick, easy to find. I think this is it. This is the one. I'll just pull that up in here as well. So there's this here. Have you seen this before?
Oh no, I have not.
So this it's considered to be rather prophetic. So the folks on the right here are the various leaders of the Allies leaving the Versailles Conference. I think Woodrow Wilson's the tour guy. One of these is Lloyd George. Another one is I can't even remember the name of the French leader. But in the corner here we have a small child weeping, and the text you might not be read here is 1940 class or 1940 children. And it's essentially saying, you realize if we punish them in the way that we're punishing them after this thing here, all we're doing is creating situations where this will collapse in 20 years and we'll have another big war on our hands. It turns out that's what happened. Clemenceau is the big guy wearing the white suit.
I love peace and future cannon fodder.
Yeah.
It's very accurate. Yeah. When was this cartoon?
This one, I think that is from 1919 sometime.
Okay. That is.
Yeah, I'll show you this. This is all classic stuff from sort of origins of World War II. Here's another one from David Lowe. David Lowe's great. I think he actually might be Kiwi.
Unlimited indemnity.
So this was all Versailles. It's like you guys have to pay back everything in Germany. They basically screwed Germany completely. I mean, sure, Germany. The thing about World War I though is arguing that Germany started the war and should therefore be punished is not an accurate reading of the circumstances leading to the start of the war. Arguing that Germany started World War II, fair enough. Hitler fucking did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But World War One is a much more complicated series of agreements and triggers and stewing tensions. It's very difficult to say any one country bears the brunt of responsibility for that. And so sort of punishing Germany in the way that they didn't make much sense. But particularly given that Germany was not in a position where they had to surrender at that point. Russia had basically collapsed. They more said, economically, this is a bad idea. Let's end it. So yeah,
nobody's benefiting from the continuation of this conflict.
Yeah, exactly. So it is World War One, and the decisions made after that are foolish. But then it's not like we have politicians who are particularly good at making decisions today either. So
So this visit to Cyprus kind of triggered an exploration for me in an area of history that I had a very large blind spot in for a while, which was the origins of World War One, and the sort of foundations that led to World War II and many of the modern conflicts that we're dealing with in this whole region. Because 100 kilometers to the east from the tip of Cyprus, you have
Lebanon,
Israel, the Levant, the Gaza Strip, this Palestine, this entire region, Syria. I did not realize how close it was to all of that. You can't see it from the coast, but it's just over
so close,
horizon.
And so much of the sort of the boundaries and the individual kingdoms that are set up here were set up as a result of imperial machinations by Europeans in the late 19th century, and the 19th and 20th century, all the mandates and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So Cyprus was actually acquired by the British, by the English, around 1870 from the Ottoman Turks. They had been occupying the island for like 300 years at that point, many, many generations, which is where I think a lot of the Turkish identification got established in the modern era that led to this whole political conflict between the Greek population and the Turkish supporting population.
This is that classic thing, right? Is one group of people say, "Oh, we've been here for 100 years. This is clearly ours." Yeah. Another group says, "Yeah, sure, but before you were there, we were there for another couple of 100 years." And then the group that was there before them said, "Oh, but we were there for another 300 years." And that's the problem with those types of claims, is they don't do a good job of recognizing A, that was in the past, and B, that what you have now is not a single clearly defined population that is just one or the other. In these situations where you have these countries that are those layers like that, you kind of have to sort of say, cool, that's great. How would you like to determine your lives? And then let them work it out, rather than try to impose a narrative based on who was in control last. Like, was it the Turks? Was it the Byzantines? Was it the Romans? Whose was it at what point in time?
The crux.
I think the Venetians controlled it for a few hundred years as well. Actually,
they did. The Turks, I think, actually took it from the Venetians and that led to the Battle of Lepanto, which was the largest naval battle in history up to that point. And I think it was the last one where you had these sort of oar-driven galleasses that were used.
It was one of those sort of transitional battles where two styles of warfare come into conflict, and the Turks,
the Venetians brought old things, cannons.
They brought cannons and carracks. I think the carracks, caravels, whatever the smaller, more mobile, more modern ocean-going vessels that they'd been exploring the world with, and basically pantsed the poor Ottoman fleet, and that drastically changed the dynamics.
Yeah, so that was kind of a turning point. The Ottomans took it over. I think a few maybe it was a decade or a few decades prior to that point, because the Battle of Lepanto, the Ottomans had basically made it all the way over to the region of modern. If you zoom in on Italy,
down here,
Croatia. They were basically on the doorstep of the Venetians.
Well, I mean,
within a few days' march by that time. So. You had the Holy Roman Empire and the Venetians pulling together this massive navy to turn the tide.
At the sort of the height of the Ottoman period, the sort of 17th and 16th century, they're controlling pretty much the entire Balkans, Romania, Serbia, much of Hungary. Hungary was a large part, but they're knocking on the doors of Vienna. So it was a complex thing. The thing that's interesting about the Ottoman state, though, is it was like a lot of empires, less a matter of single central control where the emperor controls everything, and more a collection of tributary states where you have individual groups that pay tribute and offer some sort of allegiance to. But then, of course, that's very fragile because you have a change in succession or a change of rulership in one of those territories, and they said, no, we're our own thing now. So there's all these complicated rulership changes in Serbia and Romania and that whole general area that I am aware of, but could not at all keep track of.
I mean, the big turning point for them obviously was a lot further before that, when they actually sieged the city of Constantinople at the time.
Yes, Though of course by then they had already at that point taken over most of the Balkans.
Yeah.
Like it's 1453, but they'd taken over much of the Balkans at that point in time, all of Anatolia. 1453.
So this whole period of history in that region, I wasn't really very familiar with. So I've been digging through a lot of podcasts on that, and I've been trying to get up to the modern era of, okay, so the Ottomans lasted for 400 years roughly into the late 1800s and early 1900s, leading up to World War I. They lost Cyprus to the Brits somewhere in the 1870s, early in the 1870s. So then it became an English province. You can't really call it a colony. It's not like they colonized it. There was already a huge population there.
It was leased. It was leased.
Leased to the Brits.
Leased to the Brits, remained de jure Ottoman until 1914. And then after the war, I guess.
Yeah, it was after.
After the war, they gave it back to Greece.
That was after the war. That was after the war. So like all official ties and the Ottoman Turks Empire was basically broken up through that entire region, which includes modern Istanbul, which became modern Turkey.
Well, you also have the Young Turks and all the revolutions that were going on inside Turkey itself, because the Ottoman state was very much a collapsing entity at that point internally. Yeah. Well, the Ottoman regime, the state itself was not a non-functional thing. There was a lot of change going on inside Turkey, and that always happens is when things go through these massive changes. A lot of the sort of loosely held territories sort of end up falling away and getting picked up by whoever's walking around looking for things.
Yeah, more powerful nearby estates that already wanted to get those those chunks of territory back or had more influence over the local populace.
Yeah, this part of the world here has had a lot of violence.
Yeah,
over the years. Anywho, let's talk podcast mechanics, because we're getting close. We are getting close. So we last time around we delved deep into the world of naming and identity and those sorts of things, and I think we were precisely anything is what we ended up with, which has in my mind stood the test of time, and that I still like it.
I'm still good with it. It's solid.
It's solid. It works. It fits. It's catchy on its own.
It's precisely what we need.
It's catchy. I love that it's contradictory. It's good. So you got some domains. I think you grabbed some domains.
I did
last time we talked.
I got preciselyanything.com, so we do have that.
Yes, so we've got preciselyanything.com, and you also grabbed a bunch of the various social media namespaces as well.
Yes, I did. So I think I set us up with a YouTube for that. I believe I also grabbed a Twitter and an Instagram account. I'm not sure if I made Facebook. Continue to that site.
So probably good things for us to do today, there would be to make sure that we have shared access and things to stuff. Stop it.
Yep.
And then I would love to hook this up to the YouTube there, just so that we can play with how does it actually stream to and all that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
So let me see if I can switch over to that account real quick.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sense.
We need to be able to stream directly to that channel, not the one that I'm currently streaming to. So let's see if I can add a new destination. It's going to be a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. The first thing I think, though, is to add me to the channel so I can look at things.
Yep.
I think currently I don't have access to it.
Let's see. Let me actually do that.
I'm just checking the credentials I use on YouTube here so you can find me. There's my YouTube ID and then my name and my email address. Apparently, 4
Nice.
people have subscribed to my YouTube channel. What? I post nothing. I don't think I've posted anything on my YouTube channel in forever. Why would anyone click subscribe there?
I actually don't know that I've ever added like other people to a YouTube channel.
You can do it from if you go into the YouTube studio.
Yeah, so that's where I am right now.
And then there's like a settings panel in there, and there's an option in there. I'll go into it for one of these and see if I can find it so I can point you. Yeah, so there's a setting option in the bottom left, and then underneath that there's something called permissions. And then there's
permissions, manage permissions.
Right.
Okay, that'll take you to another tab. No, this is going to be for precisely anything. Okay, I gotta fiddle with this for a second. Because I think this would have been attached to... phone.
Yeah, you got to do this security stuff where you can get in and do that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember that being painful the first time.
It always is.
Yep.
Oh, there's an error. That's good. Great. Let's go back. So the thing, I assume this should be, it's a brand account. So I guess it would be attached to this email. Let's try that again. It's kind of weird because you don't have to create like a unique email for this one specifically.
For the channel, for
the channel, because it's considered a brand account.
Oh right, yeah, because it's a shared one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need an identity for it. You just have a list of people who can control it.
All right, where is this application? Try that again. Weird. Okay, send me. Try another way. There we go. Yes, it's me. Thank you.
So has it done anything? Anything I should see this one?
No, I'm dealing with authenticating this through 2-factor right now. Oh, come on. There we go. Precisely anything. Manage permissions. All right, I should be able to send you All right, I need the email that you want me to use. Got that. All right, you should have some sort of notification now or email to that address. I think you had created a Twitch.
I may well have, yes. That sounds like
Okay,
it is.
so we'll need to do the same thing there.
Okay, I got a thing from Google saying blah, blah, blah. From the brand account there. Good. Now it's me to confirm that I'm me.
Yeah, set up channel on YouTube and Twitch.
Fucking Windows stupid weird ass passkey thing. It says please sign into google.com, and I'm like, yeah, I can. The only option is cancel. So literally the only option that's available on the screen is cancel. So we'll go with this thing. I need to spend some time understanding it. It seems that this whole idea of let's do everything with brand keys, with passkeys, has been not laid out, not rolled out with any kind of consistency. There's a lot of different passkey offerings out there, and they don't work together well, and it just results in a big mess. And I feel like nothing's very well secured as a result of it. I wish I just disabled all of it as soon as I saw it.
Yeah, there's too many different formats, I feel like.
Yeah.
Or maybe just there wasn't enough standardization as those solutions were being rolled out.
My guess is that they were rolled out independently by companies saying, hey, here's my thing.
Yeah.
Rather than anything else. Okay, so I see precisely anything account showing up in the thing, so that's good.
Right. Righty. Yeah, this needs to go away. It's Notion setup. I feel like I have this problem. I have a problem with Windows way more often than I do on Macs, where some sort of program will get into a hung state where it's trying to execute a process, it's trying to install, it's trying to go through a download, and it will get stuck, and it will just keep cycling there. And at some point, you'll be in a situation where you have this window running that has no options to actually delete it, and you have to go into Task Manager and literally kill it from the back.
Yep. Okay, that's not important, and I should close it. Okay, in Twitch here. Okay, I'm already logged into precisely anything else. That's right. Twitch doesn't have individual user controls because it's like I can't, for example, give you access to the channel. I can give you the credentials to the channel. We can both log into the channel, but that's the only way it works. Do you recall if I gave you any of those credentials already?
I don't think so.
Okay, then I will give you the... Here is the username. It's exactly what you would expect. And I think this is the password. I have deleted the first two letters of the password, and I'll tell you those verbally, just because that way we can pretend like we're secure.
All right.
So the username there, and then the password starts with, we're live streaming this, so if you're live streaming, the numbers are 04. 04, and then the rest of it's in the text.
And then the name of the podcast. All right, let's see. Try that. this stream keeps on popping up because the default link now on Twitch is to go to our live stream channel. So it always ends up automatically playing whatever we're currently streaming.
Right.
All right. So precisely anything. The most password of 04. Wait a minute, that didn't work. The one you put into the chat.
So it should start with 04 and then the rest of that there.
Ah. Got it. Okay. I need a code from your email.
A code from my email. Cool. 1 second. The code is 269 220.
All right. Nice.
Oh, you successfully logged in, and you're in Seattle.
I have.
Ooh, I have your IP address now.
Nice.
Okay, so you should have all the credentials for that. And where is what we're doing right now streaming to?
It's streaming to YouTube and Twitch, but the YouTube channel is my personal channel, not the precisely
Twitch. What's the Twitch channel?
The Twitch channel is also my personal Twitch channel.
So this is going to your personal stuff right now. Go on, so you'll change that whatever you feel like. Glorious.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can actually, we can change that for the next one, or
Yeah, we'll do it for next. Let's just keep this one being what it is, because this is all just internal conversation rather than anything else.
Yeah. Highly, precisely irrelevant.
Definitively irrelevant, yes.
Definitively unrelated.
Categorically irrelevant. So
we got that.
And did you say you registered any other social media? Is there any other social media?
Let me see. I think I had set up an Instagram as well.
Yeah, we may as well claim the handles on these things, even if we don't actually use them.
Even if we don't plan to use them too much.
Yeah. Did you grab X by any chance? Sorry, Twitch.
I believe I
Twitter.
did.
Twitter.
So I'm just gonna see. Nope. Okay. Actually, I don't think I grabbed Instagram. Let me see if I grabbed Twitter. I thought that I had grabbed Twitter, but
let's find out. Precisely anything turns up no search results. There is yes, this account does not exist.
It doesn't exist.
Does not exist, so we should be able to do that.
Yeah. So, do you want to create an Instagram, and I can create a?
You do Twitter. I'll do Insta. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna log out of this one. Wow. Shoot. How do you create a new account?
The only person whose posts I get on Instagram on my own one, which is what it's taken me to help, appears to be my niece, who is apparently becoming increasingly strange. So good for her.
She's becoming increasingly strange.
No, just her own person with
unique
artistic
in her own way.
She's an artist who wants to do. She's really into sort of textiles and fashion type stuff. So she's doing a lot of exploratory stuff, and a lot of the stuff that she creates is, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Come on.
Are we using just precisely anything all lowercase for these sorts of username tags and things?
I think for the YouTube channel we have
Just caps, cap B, cap A.
Yeah, we have cap P, cap A.
I'll see.
I
don't know.
Some platforms, I don't think it matters. Others, it does.
I think in most
It's
of
like
them, they let you set it as a visual thing, so it shows up on the web page.
Right. But it's
it
all
doesn't.
lowercase.
It has to be consistent, because most web browsers don't care too much about capitalization in domains.
Yeah. Like in the domain, it's all lowercase. So I think generally the display is going to be capital P, capital A for readability. But
clicking the sign up button does nothing. Thank you so much, Instagram.
Just create a new account. This is
on Twitter.
Yeah, when you're actually currently logged in,
I'm just going to. I have just made an incognito tab, and I'm doing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to jump over to a new browser. You can get around any existing accounts that are interfering here.
The Instagram sign up form does not respond to letting me.
No good. Here. Right, I'm going to create an account. Precisely.
For reasons I don't understand, if I click on the sign up button in there's something balked about the Instagram sign up form. In that you click on sign up and nothing happens. And if I go look at the debug log, it complains about 429 errors, which is basically too many requests. So there's something broken. So let's try this again from a different browser and see if it's a we don't like Chrome today type thing, or if it is actually just broken.
Let's just do this. Right. Authenticate your account. Oh, good.
It also does not work on Firefox.
These CAPTCHA tests are getting increasingly convoluted in order to try to continue confabulating the latest image or content recognition AI bots. Isn't this weird? It's roughly approximate.
It looks like people's consensus on the internet is that someone used because IP addresses get shuffled around. One of the IP address or the IP address family that I'm a part of has been used by some spammer at some point in time, and Instagram is just really anal about bouncing you on account creation for that. That's
Mm,
plausible. I don't know if that's actually really what's going on. I think that's possibly a post hoc, but look,
weird.
you would expect if that was the case that they would show you an actual error saying that is the case, as
Right.
opposed to what I'm getting here, which is that it just doesn't do anything. So I might ask you to try this and see what happens for you.
Okay. Try that again. Oh my god. Use arrows to move the icon into the indicated orbit. Interesting. So the latest CAPTCHA method for Twitter is to have you try to arrange icons onto orbital rings around a sun based on a separate image with a number and an icon.
Wow.
This is okay. Yep. And you got to do it on 5 different iterations of this too. It's actually fairly tedious. Okay. Yep, there we go. Alrighty there. Something went. Oh, come on. What? We are both having issues with this right now. Oh god. Okay, I gotta go through the authentication again for some reason.
This is on Twitter.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because I'm using VPN. I've often found that this causes.
Is the VPN coming out in the US or is it coming out somewhere else?
It's coming out in Seattle.
Okay. Oh, actually, I should. Okay.
Split in half. Oh, I see. That's an interesting variation. You've proven you're human. Okay. Did they send me a text? No. Oh, jeez. Okay, so maybe it's because I have this phone number already associated with a different account.
Oh yeah. So it needs a phone number to check in with.
Yeah, we need a unique phone number or a unique email.
As a unique email address, just use anything at meme-hazard.org. Those are all me, and we can change those later.
Anything at me?
Anything at meme, M-E-M-E, -hazard.org. Memehazard.org is me.
Hazard.org.
Yeah.
Memehazard.org.
Yeah, my blog's been there. I've had my blog there for 20 years. Since before the word meme meant anything to do with social media. But since before social media memes even existed.
Just confirm the one that I shared with you there is exactly what
yep.
What it should look like.
Wait for the thing to pop up. Too many browser windows.
We need to put that into a theme song. Too So many browser windows.
Can you just change it to like pa-twitter@memehazard.org, just so it's just a namespace it.
PA
pa-twitter at memehazard.org. Yeah, that way it will.
Okay. So like this.
Yep, that should work.
All right. And go again. Make sure you're a real person. All right, we're doing orbital mechanics again.
And so that should go straight to me by default. And I will hop onto the server and just check that that's actually working as well while we're at it.
There we go. Continue your action. All right. All right, we sent you a code.
Cool. Let me get into the email thingy. So hopefully this will just come straight through to me. Yes, here we are, 437406.
All right. We'll need a password. Cool. We'll generate one. All right. What did I use for that? Oh, that's right. Oh, no. I mean, what should we call you? Precisely anything. Oh, the username must be shorter than 15 characters on Twitter.
You could just make it precise any. See if that works.
Yeah, I mean, that works. Dang. Precisely any. All right. Well, that's frustrating.
That's just Twitter. Everything's short sometimes.
Yep.
As long as you abbreviate in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, precisely any. All right. Skip all that. Cool.
I see that.
All of that.
I see that it has been created. I see that you have a... Where did you get this icon from?
That's interesting. You can't... Like, you have to follow accounts in order to get started.
Just follow me or follow you or something like that. Not like I post anything. I hate Twitter.
It doesn't... You have to follow suggested accounts. There's no way to...
Really?
Yeah, unless I... No, it doesn't...
Let me guess. It's one of those suggested accounts, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Follow the great leader.
Of course, it's right at the beginning. It's the first one.
Is it really?
Yes. Elon
Follow
Musk
the great
and
leader.
SpaceX.
Follow the great leader.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's amazing.
Jeez.
I'm judging them hard.
It's such such an ego trip at this point. All right. Well, let's do Richard Dawkins and the Stranger. Sure.
Okay, those are less objectionable.
Oh, of course. Elon Musk
Dawkins
is still the first tweet that shows up on the feed. I did not follow him.
What's the first tweet then?
It has been 18 years since. Oh shoot! Hold on. No, it went away.
Yeah, so
it was only there for a second.
NASA, the Stranger, and Dawkins. Good.
Yes. All right. Cool. Non Trilson. That is your name, of course.
I do like to spoonerize things. Okay, so we got that.
Hey, it's Bridget. That's funny. All right. So we have the Twitter created. So you needed me to go and try to create an Instagram one.
Let's give that a go. Yeah, because I say it just bounces me for reasons inexplicable.
For reasons inexplicable. Let's see. Switch accounts. Problem. I will also try to do this from an incognito browser. It's going quicker. Sign up. All right. So I'm going to use. Can I use a similar email like IG?
Yeah. So just like PA Instagram. I mean, has it not all going to be fine?
Oh yeah, PA
Instagram. Yeah.
At meme. Hazard.org. All right. Sign up. Go.
Is it doing anything?
Weird. I'm getting error utils caught in error. Failed to load resource. Post. Too many requests.
Yeah, same thing I'm getting. Same around me. Yep.
Interesting. All right, so nobody can create accounts on Instagram right now?
Apparently, so if you Google it, there's a lot of people talking about the problem. The thing is, there's people complaining about this going back a few years. So there is something that is stupid.
Something stupid is going on.
I just for a second wondered, am I also on a VPN? But I'm not on a VPN. I'm on my own connection. Because if it was on a VPN and someone else is using the same VPN, VPNs tend to mess with that sort of thing. So,
yep. Which I am on one right now, but you are not. So
I am not.
That invalidates that theory.
Probably the last thing to do is just to try and do it once more with turn off your VPN and just try and do it once more and see if that does the same thing.
If I turn off my VPN, though,
or change the VPN output. Change the VPN output to a
different location. Yeah. Let's see. Where else would I like to go? I could try from Miami. Let's do that.
Try it from somewhere very innocuous, like, I don't know, Calgary or something like that.
Calgary.
I don't know. Calgary seems like not where I would expect to find that sort of thing.
Anything mischievous going on.
I mean, it's Canada, right?
Yeah. Vancouver. Victoria. How about that?
There you go. They're very well behaved over there.
All right. I am now coming from Vancouver, Canada. Oh, looks like I froze. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. I still see you.
Hello,
still hear
I
you.
am back. I am now in Vancouver.
I did not actually lose you at any point. I had audio consistently all the way through.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let's try this again. So, back. Instagram. Let's see what you do. Sign up. Try this again. So it will be PA-Instagram. Okay, and password's going to be that. And let's try same thing. Same issue.
Same issue?
Yep, same problem.
Okay. Instagram is shit, and we'll move on to our lives at the moment.
All right. Well, that is that for the time
Okay,
being.
but I will
okay, what about
put
the
that onto our... Say
We
again?
need to. We're blocked on that for now.
On the which?
Well, so we need to move on to the domain, but I'm just saying we're blocked on the Instagram account.
I will. So we're going to set up a channel on Twitch. Is done. Set up a channel on YouTube. Is done.
Yep.
I will go.
I also have set one up on Twitter.
I'll write that in progress there. So Twitter account, because no one wants to call it X, because it's a dumb name. Pretentious goober. Did we create a Discord server? Oh, I just lost it. We did. Yeah, we did. I just haven't used it. We did. There we go. Okay, cool. Right.
Not been in there. But
That's right. That's where we put all of our channels.
Oh yeah.
That's
yes. Here it is.
We forgot about that. Cool.
I did forget about. Did you? You didn't. You need to add me or add my permissions or update them somehow because I can't do anything to it.
In Discord.
In Discord, yeah.
Yes, I'll do that. I don't quite know why, but your camera has frozen for me.
Oh, okay.
Let me just refresh.
Jump out, jump back in. It looks like I will stop my camera and restart. And Tron jumped out for a second as well. Connection is unstable if you're on Wi-Fi. Try plugging into your closer. You're back.
I forgot to press the button that said three things. Okay, your video is now a black screen, black square.
Okay.
Try turn the camera on or off. That might fix it.
How about now?
I saw it turn off, and then it's still black square.
How about now? Maybe I'll go into the settings and see if I can switch the source. No.
I thought I saw you for a second there. I was looking into the other screens.
Okay.
Yeah, I see you, but it is still it's a different frozen picture of you.
Oh, maybe Discord is causing issue. No, it shouldn't be. What? Something else that tries to use my camera.
Is it possible to? So I don't think it's something using your camera because I wouldn't get any images if that was the case. I think there's. Here we go. No, you're back now. You're back now, and you're moving. You are slowly increasing your resolution. Where is your VPN pointing right now?
It is pointing. Oh, that's right. We need to update that back. Still Vancouver, Canada. I'm gonna bring that.
Can you just try turning it off just to see if that improves the video quality? Because the video quality is pretty bad right now. I don't know. It could just be your camera because I know you said the laptop camera wasn't grand.
I am, funnily enough, I am currently on a Starlink. So,
okay, so the quality's going to be crap regardless.
well, it shouldn't be. It should be 200 megabits, roughly, between 100 and 200.
But latency.
All right. Hello.
Oh, I see you now, and the image is much clearer.
All right. Well, I'm not on the VPN now.
Yeah, a VPN would have been the root of the problem.
Okay. I mean, that is a good thing to test because I don't think I had streamed from the Starlink before. So if that seems to be working fine, and the VPN is,
it's certainly working fine. Yeah, VPN makes it worse, but this is just fine. I mean, it's not perfect, but then I imagine my image is also not perfect.
yours is doing all right. Not seeing any issues.
I'm just going through permissions at the moment. I've basically created a role called host, which I'll give to both of us, and I'm giving that role basically everything. Only thing I'm not granting is the super admin right, in case we screw up the roles at some point.
Right.
They always say don't grant us the roles, so unless you really, really want to. And then
I really, really want super admin.
I can guarantee that on a personal basis.
No, it's fine.
You sure?
And
I've chosen a nice purple for us because that's what's important in life.
Feeling good about the color is definitely up there.
I spent a couple of hours last night and the night before with a couple of friends fighting with the Foundry virtual tabletop for running Pathfinder. And the most focused period of time that we spent on that, we were all looking at the same thing and working on trying to make sense of the same thing, was the half hour or so we spent trying to make our individual dice color selections just right.
Was this to make sure that nobody is too closely overlapping with anyone else?
Yeah, and also make sure that they're readable and play with the cool. Oh, I can make my dice makes different sounds. All those sorts of settings. There's a lot of things you got to do.
It's very important. It's that's your face. That's your face in many contexts.
Anyway, so you should have access to everything in basically everything in Precisely Anything now.
I have access to precisely everything now.
Precisely everything, so that's all sorted out. So things that we talked about still to do is one of them is deciding on branding and logo. I have basically no opinion about these things. There'll be things that I don't like, but I don't really have a lot of opinion on the subject. I also feel like we can change those sorts of things later, and we don't really need to make big choices up front. Do you have opinions?
No, I don't have a super strong opinion on a logo or branding for precisely anything yet.
Precisely any color.
It's precisely Technicolor. It's everything. Yeah, I've been using this silly modification to a Reality Quest background that I had from way back. That's just a big statue of the Columbus head, and that is the current thing that I've just been dropping in for the thumbnail. But
I'm anytime we need a backdrop, I'm going to make us a nice, interesting geometric pattern of some kind, like a Voronoi thing without spots.
Okay,
I just like those. Something colourful that can sit in the background, and you can just use that, and then eventually we'll replace it with something.
So something we can use in the background of our videos would be great. That's not this. But we will eventually need to create some branding for the stream.
Yeah, so let's break that down. What do we actually need? We need.
We will need. Well, the color right now is just arbitrarily set to something that I liked. It doesn't really matter. So if we pick something different, that's okay.
So color theme's an easy thing. We can make that decision right now.
We can spend the next half hour deciding on a color theme.
Yeah, or we can spend the next 30 seconds deciding on color because I'm actually pretty happy with the colors we've already chosen. But let's write it down.
Yeah, so that is F91561 hex code.
F91561. Yep.
Let's see, default camera.
That's that lovely pinkish
Yes,
bit off magenta. Okay, so on the one that's next to us.
It's
there.
off magenta. It's like right in between magenta and red.
Yeah, I mean, I like that color. Basically, if the color is saturated, I'm going to like it. In general, I don't like pastels, and I don't like grey washed out colors. They're not my thing. I really like the combination of that pink and the sort of fairly bright greenish teal that we have in that background image, and the really dark purple. So if we just adopted those three colors and then do something using those three colors, I'll be happy.
I'm incredibly happy with that color palette.
All right, well, I'm going to just snatch those.
I've used it a ton, I think, as you can see already. So we can just nab those.
There we go. I'm just going to. So I'll grab one of these greens from the background. Which one do I like the most? Okay, so I will. Colors. There's one of the teals, and then you've got the
logo. Actually, going to just test this out for the moment. Nice. Our logo for the moment is the whirlpool or hurricane emoji, because that is what I had available as a PNG. Got this streamline overplay,
and then this deep.
Okay, so they actually have some specific details here we can outline for each of these so that when we create them, you already know the specs. Using PNG or GIF.
What is this? You looking
at? So a logo and then an overlay are things that we might want to create.
Okay, so I've put the colors in here. So we've chosen our three colors. We don't really, and white, I guess. White and black are always assumed to be included. Yeah. But I don't think we need to choose more. So we need a background as like a
3. Sound good, and then plus white.
Yeah. And then we need a logo.
Yep, logo needs to be 200 by 200 pixels, and it can be PNG or a GIF with a transparent background.
And that's for StreamYard. Yeah, and we can always make something that's bigger and then scale it down. But something that has to look good at least in that sort of size. And then for the background image, you were calling that
the background image. I actually don't. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Background looks like 1280 by 720 is the recommended size.
Okay, so that's 69 sort of thing.
And that can be an image, a video, or a GIF as well.
So what did you say? It was 1280 something.
1280 by 720. Basically 720p.
Yeah.
Although, if you're doing a 1080p stream as a standard, probably should be that resolution. So we should probably make a 1080p, and then we can just scale it down if we need to.
Yeah.
But max size is 20 megs.
Okay, so things we need then is a logo and a background. Is there any other branding stuff that we need to decide?
Yes, an overlay could be useful.
And so what's an overlay exactly?
This what you're seeing right now.
Oh, that little thing with live on StreamYard?
Yeah.
Is it reasonable to get AI to help with these, or do you want to make them? I'm not artistic, so.
I mean, I think I could make these.
All right, so I'll just leave those.
Easily enough. We just need to decide what. So live with stream. I mean, the overlay.
I figure the overlay flows nicely once we have a logo, right? Once you get a logo, the overlay is just a matter of extending that design into something that fits and putting some text on it. So
and the logo right now is this swirly icon,
right,
in the top right. But we should figure out something different for that.
I mean, I like galaxy type things. A galaxy type like motif would work for me because I mean it's a big. It's kind of, it fits into that whole everything is big. Yes.
This is an AI generated one that I actually I was just spitting out on.
Nice.
Oh, that was a kind of silly thing, but either way, I think this is something that can totally be just generated.
Yeah, I think use an AI to start you off, and then if you want to redesign it by hand to make it nicer, we can do that. Yeah, do something like that uses the colors that we have would be grand.
Yeah.
I wonder if ChatGPT can just do this. What were you using to make your images?
I was using, I believe this was ChatGPT. I had a few other variations that I had created for Riftworks, actually. This is where these were coming from. Let's see. Got another one floating around. Where did you go? Oh no, they're not actually. So this is actually roughly the color palette. I just hadn't isolated it. This was another variation that got spit out of ChatGPT.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just looking at having ChatGPT doing various things for me at the moment. Anyway, I figure that's a thing that one of us you can probably, or one of us can do offline.
Yeah, I'll riff on that over the next week.
Yeah,
or two.
couple of options to play with. I don't think we need to talk about promotion and distribution at this point in time, because right now it's really just a matter of getting ourselves to a place that we can actually record some stuff, and then we'll worry about how do we actually get people excited about it. Outside that, setting up a website. Should I just throw up a WordPress on our domain? You said you had a domain set up somewhere?
Yes, where
did you grab
That's
it?
another thing I need to give you access to is the actual domain. So I think I did that on Namecheap.
Cool. Namecheap's good. Yeah, give me access to that. And I have hosting that we can use for this. I'll set up a WordPress site based on that.
Okay. Yep, there it is. It's manageprecisellyanything.com.
I think I have a Namecheap account.
To make contacts.
I do not have a Namecheap account. How strange. I thought I did.
Sharing and transfer, that's probably where. So it's gonna happen.
Yes, sharing is what you want. Transfer is giving it to another person.
Access rights for individuals who act as domain managers. Yeah. Should I use your original email?
Yeah, with XORG.
Yes.
Just hold a second. I'm actually just creating an account off that, and this will hopefully make this process a little bit easier.
Okay.
Create an account and continue. Okay, now go ahead and send that.
Growing like crazy.
What's going on? Pot plants.
This pothos has been growing like crazy this summer.
Indoor plants.
It's taking over my this side of the boat. All right, I sent. Oh wait, manager access, give manager full access, manager permissions, full. What does full access entail? Can you like transfer it to another account entirely, or some permit? Oh, some permit. Well, I'll just say some permissions and then just It's DNS. Okay. What's my new password? Process to grant access rights has been successfully initiated. Domain manager. One pending invitation. Did you get something?
Name sheet support, permission, invitation, blah, blah, blah. Clicking on some stuff. Invitation, accept.
All right. Let's see. Sign in.
Why do you need my phone number? I don't want to give you my phone number. I hate it when sites want my phone number.
Some of them, that's the primary way to authenticate currently.
Yeah,
Unless
it's
they
a
have
thing.
some other. Oh, well, I mean, this is probably not necessary right now, but what would be useful at some point is to have a sort of waiting video that we can pop on if we need to take a break.
Yeah. There's going to be some all sorts of stuff like that. That'll be cool to get eventually.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
because they have this sort of.
Cool. Okay, it has given me. I have domain access and things here. Redirect domain. Blah blah blah. Name servers. I can change that. I'm guessing advanced DNS is any DNS. Yes, good. Okay, so I can fiddle with this to set up a website. So that's
Right.
on me to do. So I'll just set it up with a WordPress unless you have a strong opinion about something else.
Nope. I'm fine with WordPress.
Yeah, I mean it does most of the things you want, and you can always change
Yeah, I
change your
think
mind
it's-
later. Keep it simple.
Straightforward. I've been doing most of my sites through Netlify these days, and use the static site generator, but I think that's WordPress is fine too.
I mean, we could
Whatever is straightforward for you.
we could,
What was that?
we could just use Netlify or something like that.
It doesn't matter to me.
I'll have a noodle and decide on it and go from there.
I've basically been using like Gatsby templates for the last few years on these kinds of things.
Mhm.
Netlify.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of just plain websites. I tend to sort of avoid anything that looks like a marketing website when it comes to people paying me,
Yeah.
because I don't care. I like the idea of static generator though, because there's really we're not talking about doing anything complicated on the
It's
site.
not an it doesn't really need to be an application.
Exactly. Yeah, something that's real simple. But that also makes it very portable as well if you want to change your hosting and all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's on my list to do.
Okay.
Website. So decide on branding and logo. We've done. So this task goes away because this has been unpacked. So set up a website is on. So you're doing the three backgroundy things or three branding
Yep.
things.
Branding things.
We will leave proper promotion distribution for the moment. We haven't got a plan formulated yet for our first episode, but we're so close to that.
I think we had talked about a few people who were candidates for that.
Yes.
Do you have any new thoughts on that front as far as a new recent conversation since I was gone?
I think there's a distinction between first person from the perspective of, hey, it's useful to us to have this person be a person who can, who would just find out would this person be keen on doing a thing,
Yeah.
like having a first person who's there to just help us do a first session. And there's plenty of people we can think of who would probably have opinions and be useful in that sort of circumstance. Versus a first episode, which is our first episode where we're trying to say, hey, this is our first episode, look at this person, and they're cool.
Like one you'd actually want to market and push out and say, hey, we're doing this new podcast. We have somebody really interesting on, and you should come check it out.
As far as people, so I talked to Michael Alcock a couple of times about this, just because we played disc golf on Friday. So he and I played disc golf from time to time. If you want to join us,
Disco?
Disc golf.
Oh, disc golf. Got it.
Yeah. So we do that, I don't know, once every few weeks, something like that.
Okay. So he would be a potential individual.
He might be a good person for an initial working one, which is just, hey, let's just a dry run, an episode 0 essentially.
Yeah. I think the next one we should consider like an episode 0, not the actual starting one, but let's
run.
Bring somebody else in and start doing that and figuring out that dynamic.
So what else? So for that episode 0, we don't need to have decided on promotion or distribution. We don't at this stage really need to have decided on music because we're not really planning on doing much production for it. Is there anything else that we would need to do before that session, or should we just go ahead and see if he wants to do it? Because he's indicated a couple of times he'd be keen to help out. I mean, a bunch of people.
Any other setup type stuff that we want to sort out before
I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything that he wouldn't be okay with us sort of sorting out with him on the call. So
yeah, I feel like we should use that as an opportunity to just work out some kinks, having a third person in and just see how it goes. And then I think maybe we do one more planning session after that, and then
so we'll do an episode 0 and a 0.1, and then we'll actually reach out to someone who's not part of this group of closest people and have them do it from there. Okay.
Yep. And
there's many options that we could pull for this. Many people. Cool. Okay. I mean, I mentioned this project to people fairly frequently. Everyone's keen on it. So, yeah.
I think Kelly will be interested as well. Which I would love to bring her back in just to do an early Kelly Campilia. Yeah.
Why don't we do our first one with Michael and do our second 0 with her?
Yeah, I mean, we could do that if she's available. Yeah. I'll check in with her and see what her general timeline is.
Cool. Okay. I have to hop off to another call, unfortunately.
I do as well. So
we often end up chatting for much longer than we're really planning to. Today I have a call, so
I looked at the time. I'm like, oh my god, it's already 4. Shit.
That's right.
All right. Let's catch up soon.
When do you want to do next? Do you want to do like next
2 weeks?
Wednesday, perhaps?
Or next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday.
1 week or 2. Okay.
Hang on. If our next one's going to be with Michael, well, that's going to have to be a little bit including his schedule. So I'll put a task on me to reach out to Michael for first session.
Yes, let's figure out if it's next Wednesday or one. All right, I'm gonna jump over to.
Yeah, do your thing, and I'll talk to you later. Cheers. Bye. Have fun. Always a pleasure.
Yep.
Take care.
You too.